Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is the Good Timekeeping Show with Greg Anderson. And today, let's talk about these watches here. Now, not to brag, but I think I'm probably the only guy on YouTube right now that's showing you 4 distinct versions of the AE-1500 all in one video. It's really not a brag because these are very affordable watches. Anyone could pick these up for, a reasonable price. You could have all 4 of them if you want. Now, there are more versions of the AE-1500 than what you see here. In fact, there's one more version that has a positive LCD, and it has kind of a blue bezel, blue watch band, and so that looks pretty nice. I might pick one of those up. It costs, right now, $3 or $4 more than the price you would pay for one of these. So, I'm either going to bite the bullet and just buy it, or, should I wait 3 or 4 months hoping the price goes down by a couple of dollars? We'll see. Then there are also a couple more variations of this watch with a negative LCD. So generally, I prefer the positive LCD versus the negative LCD, but those are some interesting colors. So if you want to, or maybe I will someday pick up those. But right now, that's all I'm aware of. So 7 distinct versions of this watch currently available. I think it's a popular watch. Possibility they'll put out more color variations. I don't know. But I've already done videos about these watches right here. So you've seen those before if you've watched all my videos. These are the 2 new ones I want to talk about. And what's so distinct about these guys? Well, this is the AE-1500WHX, and so is this one here. And the distinction that makes these different from, say, one of these, okay, is extra long strap. You can kind of tell a little bit right there, extra long strap, but let's get into it. Otherwise, it's the same module 3502. So all the same functions and features, the 100-meter water resistance, just that these are slightly different colors and extra long straps. So let's get into that right away. Let's just show you the difference. Okay, first of all, the one with the extra long strap, see it has, the buckle has kind of those 2 notches, and 2 little things to get into the notches there to hold that together, and the regular length, just has the 1. So it looks to me as though the spaces between those look to be about the same. So, but here's the deal. So if I line these up just like this, so there's the extra long one on top, and the regular one. See, you can see it's not all that much longer, right? But it is slightly longer on this side of the watch band. And if I show you the other side here, line these up as well as I can, try and get that just about like that. You can see it's also just ever so slightly longer there. Now that doesn't look that much longer, maybe a 1/4 inch on this side and maybe around a 1/2 inch on this side. So the extra length is not huge, but I suppose if you have a very large wrist or some other reason where you think the extra long watch band is going to do you good, then obviously, this is a nice one. And maybe maybe it's kind of fun to have that, where it's got the double notches there. So anyway, and of course the colors, if you like the colors, of course, this is the only version they have in this particular color. So all kinds of fun. And again, this is the other extra long strap. Same deal with the buckle and, the double notches there. Same length and all, just, again, a different color. Compare this color to the standard length, watch band in black. And you see just a little bit the highlights here around the face. Slightly different colors on these 2, even though you say, well, they're both black. Yes, and generally speaking, it's true. But, there are some style differences there. So, decide which one you like the best and have fun with it. And at this point, you're probably saying, Greg, could you remind me of all the functions and features of this watch in case I don't want to go find another video that you already made? I would be happy to show you the functions and features. As you can see, it's a nice, large, very clear display. And let's just compare that to one of these fancy G-Shocks here. So you can see the digits are significantly larger here, this one on the right. So that's how it's going to compare to your standard kind of G-Shock square readout. Okay, this one, now don't give it any grief because it's looks a little bit darker there. This one has kind of a blue overall feeling, and so there's a blue tint over here on the left here. So, you know, yeah, but it's okay. Anyway, let's get back to this one here. So, large digits shows you the day of the week, the date, and seconds right down there. And this kind of fun little animated thing that every 10 seconds, you know, all of these will either be on screen or off screen. So every second, one of these little notches is either appearing or disappearing as you're running in your regular time mode. You see there, it's a 100-meter water-resistant watch and has a 10-year battery. That's a lithium 2032 battery, and that's a very common battery, about the size of a quarter. A lot of garage door openers, you know, your little Apple AirTags, lots of devices use the 2032 battery. So if you're going to need a new battery in about 10 years, shouldn't be too hard to find what you need, and it should be a pretty straightforward process of replacing that battery just once every 10 years. Check it out. All right, so what are the different modes here? If I go into the next mode, this is your alarm and hourly signal mode. So right there, it's showing me the hourly signal is set to go. It's going to beep a couple times at the top of the hour, every hour, and I can turn that off right there. So you see the little bell icon appears or disappears when the hourly chime is activated. Now, if I press this button marked start, then I can see some of the other alarms here. And there are 5 alarms in all, plus that hourly chime feature. Now, the first alarm can be configured as a snooze alarm. So that means it's set for 6 o'clock, so it'll beep for 10 seconds at 6 o'clock, and then 5 minutes later it'll beep again. 5 minutes after that it'll beep again, and it'll keep doing that up to half an hour after the initial, you know, 6 o'clock or whatever time you've set it to. So if I were to go in here and try to adjust that, you know, that's where I would adjust the time and use the start button to advance that. It only goes forward, it doesn't go back, and you can go slowly or quickly. Now, while that's still blinking, I could press mode, and then I could adjust the minutes as well to whatever time I want that to be. And then the other thing about this, I'm going to just set it back to 6 o'clock again. If I press if I press mode again, this is where I can set it to have the alarm on specific days. So like this one, I can set the month, you know, let's say we'll make it month of December. So what that does is every day in December, this alarm is going to go at 6 o'clock. It's set to go right now. But it won't go in any other month if I have it set just this way. However, let's say I want it to only be on Christmas morning, because we all want to get up at 6 o'clock on Christmas. Oh, went too far. We all want to get up at 6 o'clock on Christmas morning, don't we? Yeah, of course. So there. Now, if I set it this way, it's only going to go December 25th, you know, once a year. That's all it's going to do. Or I press mode again. Take it back here. Let's say I set this to just any month. This will be the 25th of any month. So once a month, that's how that's going to go. Or if I press mode again, I can set that to all dashes, and when it's set to all dashes, then it's going to be every single day. So it's a little customizable that way. It might take you a minute to get used to that, and it's a function you might not use all that often, but hey, if you do, there's that option there. And now if I press the adjust button to stop things from blinking, now this is where I can set either snooze or not snooze. So right now, alarm is not set to go. But if I press this, then it has that little marker there telling me alarm 1 is set to go. If I touch that again, alarm mode is set to go as a snooze alarm. So you have the option of that being snooze or not. And then if I go here and you know, adjust these other alarms, let's turn on number 3 and let's turn on number 5. And you can see right there, those little notches indicate which alarms are set to go. And if I change now to another mode, see, it's still showing me which alarms are set and whether or not it's a snooze and whether or not the hourly signal is set. In all modes, it shows you what that's going to be. Now, I've just set the mode to the countdown timer, and right now it's set for 30 minutes. This countdown timer can be set to any duration from 1 minute up to a full 24 hours. It has to be set in full minutes. So again, I can advance that right here. Instead of half an hour, I want to make it to 20.5 hours or back to 0. And again, with minutes, it can be any minute, 1 up to whatever. If I set it to all zeros, that is when it becomes a true 24-hour countdown timer. So as I start that, it'll go 24 hours. When it's done, it'll beep, and that's it. And you can see that little animation there along the side. Every second, one of these little boxes is appearing or disappearing while it's in the timer mode. You can see that happening. The next mode is a stopwatch mode, and this is a 24-hour stopwatch. Very similar to what you'd expect on just about any, digital watches, So here you go. This is now showing me that I've got the stopwatch running hours, minutes, seconds, and hundredths of a second. And then you see every 10th of a second, that's when the little boxes appear and disappear over there. I have split time here. So if I push the adjust button, that just stops the display there where I've stopped it. But you can see the stopwatch is still running in the background. Now, if I were to stop it right now, then hit the adjust button again, that shows me the stopped time. Press adjust again, that shows me the reset to 0. I can do that as much as I want there. Next mode is a dual time mode. So hours, minutes, and seconds can be set. Well, hours and minutes can be set to something different from the regular time, but seconds is going to stay synchronized with the seconds setting on your regular timekeeping mode. But this is where you can choose some other time zone. Like right now, I've set it to UTC for hours and minutes. So give me another time zone. Or the other thing that would be useful here, let's say, this isn't as common as it used to be, but let's say at home, you've got all your clocks are set to the exact right time, but at your school that you go to or the factory that you go to, the clock is a couple minutes off. So this is where you could maybe, set this to just being a couple minutes off to match the time at some other place. But again, you can just customize hours and minutes for some other time zone, and then press mode again, and you're back to the start. Something else I need to show you about the alarm setting is when you've got it here in this alarm mode, and you just want to hear what the alarm sounds like without actually setting the alarm or having the alarm go off, you can just hold this start button. And if you hold that for a couple of seconds, then you get that little demonstration of what the alarm sounds like. So, you can do that. So that's common in a lot of Casios and G-Shock watches, but I rarely remember to show you that on these videos. Another thing to remember about the countdown timer, and some people, this is really important to them, they want a repeating countdown timer. Most of my G-Shock watches do not offer the repeating countdown timer, but this Casio offers a repeating countdown timer. So you have the option of making it a repeating timer or not, and here's how you do it. I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to reset this, and when I go to set it, let's say I'm going to set this back to, say, 30 minutes. So I'll just do this. And, things are still blinking right now. Then I'll press the light button. And look at that. Auto repeat has appeared down there. So I hit the light button again, and now it's not a repeating timer. And there it is. So and that it's kind of not too intuitive, sort of a hidden function there, but that's where you enable or disable auto repeat. See, if I'm here and I press the light button, that doesn't affect auto repeat. It has to be when it's in the setting mode and things are blinking. Maybe just one other thing I want to show you about this watch. This is kind of a diagnostic mode. It's not really an official mode as far as Casio's manuals and things are concerned. But here's what you do. Try to press every button at the same time except the light button. So I'm going to do that really quick right here. And there, I've gotten into some sort of test screen where most of the LCD segments are kind of visible right there. If I press the mode button now, goes to, I don't know what that means exactly. Again, this is not in the manual. If I press that one more time now, here is absolutely every little bit of LCD segment that could be visible is now visible. So that's a good way to kind of test your screen there and make sure it's all good to go. Press that again, I get some patterns, and then I'm back to regular mode. So that's just a fun little thing that's extra that you probably will never need to do. Another thing is this watch has a 12-hour or 24-hour mode for the entire watch. So right now it's on 12-hour mode. You see it's 1:12 p.m. If it were a.m., there'd be nothing indicating a.m. or p.m. But when it's p.m., it shows p. But if I press this start button right here, when I'm in this mode, Then it switches to the 24-hour mode, and that does that to the entire watch. The alarms are still AM, so that doesn't matter there, but the dual time, you can see, is now showing 24-hour mode. And then again, I've just pressed that button there to switch it back to 12-hour mode. So I suppose you could accidentally press that button and be a little bit of a hassle if you thought, hey, how come it changed modes? Just tap that button and it'll go right back. But I think these buttons, you probably won't press them accidentally, so that might not be a big deal. But, you know, just something to keep in mind as you're switching modes there. I guess I could go just show you the regular setup here. Here I am in the regular timekeeping mode. If I press the adjust button and hold that until things start to blink, this is where I could reset the seconds to the nearest minute. I could reset them to 0 right there, or press the mode button. Now I can change the hours, you know, just by tapping that. Again, it only goes in one direction. So if you overshoot something, you just have to kind of go back. Minutes. Here you can set the year, month, and date, and those are all the settings, and you're all set. The watch is ready to go. This is what it looks like on the back, pretty straightforward. It's got the module right there, 3502. So if you don't think I told you everything I needed to tell you in this video, you could look up the official manual from the Casio website and just download that manual for module 3502. There you got the model, AE-1500WH. And again, just very straightforward. Here you got 4 screws holding the case back on. I suppose it looks like if you needed to take that case back off to change a battery, then you might have to remove the watch band, and it's got some, you know, just spring bars, regular spring bars there to help you do that, because it looks like how this hangs over onto this metal back. You know, so just taking off those 4 screws might not be enough to take that back off. But again, you only have to do that every 10 years. And so if I ever have to do that, I'll make a video about it. I'll show you. It's not that difficult. And again, this is your basic look, what it's going to look like off of your wrist. Do you want me to show you what it looks like on my wrist? I'll show you right now. I have about a 7.5-inch wrist, and you can see with the extra long strap, there's a lot there left over for my 7.5-inch wrist. I can tuck that in right there. Okay, so that's what that looks like. As opposed to, this is what it looks like with the regular strap length. And you can just kind of compare how that looks right there. And just for the fun of it, this is what it might look like. Let's say, I normally wouldn't need that extra long strap for my wrist to have a comfortable fit. My wrist isn't that large, but what if I wanted to wear it like on a jacket, on the outside of a jacket? And let's say I had gloves on, and let's say I just didn't want to have to, you know, pull up my sleeve to see the watch. Then I could use that extra strap length to kind of accommodate leaving that on the outside of a jacket all day. So that's one option, you know, but either way, I can wear it with or without the jacket. It's comfortable enough because, as I showed you earlier, it's not that much longer than the regular strap. As long as we're being thorough, let's do an official weigh-in. Here's a watch with the extra long strap. Comes in at, okay, 59 grams. This isn't the most perfect scale, but there we go. Now this one with the normal strap, 58 grams, so really not that big a difference. Compare that to like a G-Shock Square like that. It's going to weigh in just about 50 grams. So a little bit heavier module maybe overall, but okay, again, not the most perfect scale. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 59, 60 grams. But that's what you're going to see on this. Very comfortable, you know, very, very regular. And compare it to something like this Oceanus watch with all the metal. Okay, so yeah, we're looking at about half that weight, maybe even a little bit less. And, you know, it's a comfortable watch. It's good. Here's a general idea what the backlight looks like. So yeah, not a perfect demonstration by any means, but you see it goes on for just about 1.5 seconds, just a couple seconds there. It's pretty good, you know, and again, with that nice big display, it's fairly easy to see that in low lighting conditions. I think you're going to be pleased with that. Now, if you want to buy any of these watches, I'm making this in the middle of the year 2023. They're going to cost you somewhere around $22, maybe even up to $30, depending on where you shop. You might be able to find these two here at local Walmart stores near you. These ones with the extra long straps, probably you're going to find those online. I found them also at the JCPenney website, and there was a little sale going on for, you know, around Father's Day or something. And I was able to get these for really about $20 each, maybe somewhere between the range of $20 and $22. The official price on the Casio website is $29 or $30 basically for any of these. So you should be able to find something for $30 or maybe even a little less depending on how carefully you shop for bargains. So not a bad deal at all. You may be saying, well, it's not as tough as a G-Shock. It's the crystal is made of resin. It might get scratched up. Actually, the crystal's a little bit protected because the bezel sticks out a little bit. But if you're worried about, this isn't going to be tough enough, maybe you should invest in a G-Shock square, something like this, not bad. You can get this for just maybe about $100. You can get all of these for about $100 if you want all 4 of them. But, think about a G-Shock square if you're really concerned about the toughness. But these could be excellent beater watches. Generally, I don't like the concept of a beater watch because it makes it sound like you're trying to break it, But in case you're not familiar, a beater watch is basically a watch that's it's so cheap and so easy to get that you don't mind if it breaks during your normal activities and you're going to bang up your watch a little bit. Or maybe, you've got a watch that's so tough that you don't mind because if it's a beater watch, you don't mind. It's not going to get banged up that much anyway. It's so tough. My beater watch, by the way, in case you're wondering, is this one here, MTG 900. And you can see it's got some scuffs. It's got some wear, definite wear marks on that. And I've had this watch now for 17 years. This is tough solar. It's got the wave scepter technology, so that means I've really never had to set the time on it. I've set the time zone. I've never had to open this watch up or had anyone else open it up to change a battery. Tough solar, yes, it's running on the original battery, now 17 years in my possession. And again, it kind of looks like a beater watch. So, even though I could say, well, one of these, this is cheap enough, I should use one of these as a beater watch. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But in the meantime, I definitely have this one. And, if this watch gets to just look a little too roughed up, guess what? I have a brand new one standing by. This is a little bit different model, updated. This is the MTG M900. Yeah, I got one of these. So this can be the beater watch over here, and this one can take its place. If I ever do something that's so bad that I destroy this watch, I'd be afraid that means how could I destroy this watch without injuring myself badly, right? Okay. This one's standing by. You know what? And if anything happens to this one's standing by too. So I think I'm pretty covered in the beater watch category, but maybe this would be a good option for you. Factory specifications say these watches should remain accurate to within 30 seconds a month. I think it's going to be closer to 15, maybe even as low as 10 seconds a month. So I'll keep an eye on that and I will let you know. But that will be another video for another day. So I hope you'll keep looking for new videos right here on the Good Timekeeping Show.